high levels of acute food insecurity, a figure projected to rise as below average rains, rising temperatures, and declining harvests continue to strain livelihoods. As of December 2025, the crisis was particularly severe among the most vulnerable, with more than 741,000 children under the age of 5 years, acutely malnourished, and over 109,000 pregnant and lactating women in need of treatment, underscoring the scale of humanitarian emergency. Further, water stress has emerged as one of the harshest realities. Women and children bear the greatest burden, walking long distances, missing school, and facing increased risks of disease and malnutrition. This suffering is especially painful as it unfolds against the backdrop of Ramadani, when many families already fasting for faith now endure hunger and thirst imposed by circumstances. In light of these realities, William Ruto must declare the drought in northern Kenya a national disaster. Such a declaration will unlock the scale of national and international response required to save lives, protect livelihoods, and restore dignity of the Kenyan people. Before a drought reaches the emergency phase, a responsible leadership does preparedness. With 3 failed rain seasons, what was expected? Building of water ponds, dams, and allocation of emergency funds in time to those in need. In a meeting yesterday, the government, in a typical knee-jerk reaction, allocated 4 billion Kenya shillings to 23 ASAL counties. This translates to approximately 173 million per county, allocated to 3.3 million Kenyans who are affected. This translates to 1,200 Kenya shillings per person. These funds are way below the minimum food basket recommended by the United Nations to approximately Kenya shillings 2,700 per person in the rural areas. In an expose recently, the Office of the Deputy President spent 338 million on private jets, chartered airplanes, and choppers. Aden Duale's Shah business lost 11 billion Kenya shillings. This government does not take human life seriously. For a young man in Kenya, if they are not killing you in the streets, they are tear gassing you in church or killing you with thirst and hunger in the north. At the same time, the leaders of northern Kenya, who cannot account for Kenya shillings 1 trillion since devolution in 2013, are quiet and enjoying luxury in Nairobi as their people in the north continue to suffer from hunger and anguish. The people of northern Kenya are Kenyans. Their children are Kenyan children. Their hopes, struggles, and aspirations are part of the shared destiny of our nation. Any Kenyan oppressed or neglected today is a warning to us all. And injustice and suffering do not recognize borders or communities. We are and must remain one for all and all for one. Let this be the moment we reclaim the best of who we are, a people who do not turn away from hardship, but who meet it together with courage, with compassion, and with the unbreakable spirit of a nation that refuses to abandon its own. The spirit of Harambee must guide us. As President William Ruto tours the food insecure and water-stressed north from tomorrow to disperse the Nyota cash in Wajir, Mandera, and Garissa this week, he should know that life is more important and people are at the verge of hunger and death. In any case, the whole essence of touring the north is little on Nyota program, but to sanitize the corrupt leaders who have failed the people of northern Kenya. Furthermore, the Nyota program is a World Bank program happening in other African countries like Angola, Mozambique, Nigeria, Senegal, Benin, Togo. Yet we have not seen their presidents turn in this into re-election campaign rallies across their countries. As a DCP party that is built on the philosophy of listening to the people, Kenyans have sent us overwhelming questions and concerns about the North and promises made by one William Ruto. Mr. William Ruto, as you go to dance on the podiums in the North this week starting from tomorrow, do not forget to tell the people of the North why only less than 35% of the population have access to basic clean and safe drinking water compared to the national average of about 68%. The North, too, are Kenyans. Mr. William Ruto, in the North, over 850,000 school-going children did not attend school last year, and the same for this year. Mr. William Ruto, the schools in the North have no classrooms, no laboratories, no teachers. Children standing at the trees. Does this prick your humanity, if at all any is left as you head to the North? Mr. William Ruto, health in the North is just as bad. In Mandera County, half of all women give birth at home without a nurse or a medical doctor. Only 6% of children aged 12 to 23 months are fully vaccinated. I do not know whether you understand what this means to the future of the North and Kenya. Garissa County records the highest maternal deaths in the country, with 247 women per every 1,000 dying during childbirth. Your closest friend and partner, Aden Duale, is the CS for Health, and he comes from Garissa. Tell him to explain this phenomena to the people of Garissa and the North. You should also explain why you don't ask him these hard questions. Mr. President, in Wajir County, 90% of the population lives in extreme poverty, the highest in Kenya. Marsabit records 85.8%, while Mandera, Isiolo, and Garissa each have over 77% of their people struggling to survive. These are not just numbers. They are mothers dying, children going hungry, and families suffering every day. And because, William Ruto, you are part of the mess in the North, through lies and fake promises, please, before you make other promises starting tomorrow, note that the promises you have made to the North in the last 3 years are running into trillions of shillings burdened in lies. We take the trouble to remind you some of them. Mr. President, on 25th of November 2023 at Loyangalani Cultural Center in Marsabit County, while attending the Marsabit Lake Turkana Cultural Festival, you openly lied to the residents of Marsabit that they will be connected to the national electricity grid through Lake Turkana wind power by the year 2024. We are in 2026 and the status quo remains. Mr. Ruto, you lied that power main grids would be constructed immediately in the towns of Moyale, Marsabit, and North Hall. Zero works have commenced. As Ramadan nears, please give these Kenyans power. They do not need to cross to Somalia and Ethiopia to get ice cubes like they have done in previous years. Mr. Ruto, you lied that the Ministry of Mining, Blue Economy, and Maritime Affairs would construct, with immediate effect, fish landing sites and fish processing zones in Turkana County. 3 years later, all we see is cattle rustling and ravaging drought. William Ruto, you lied that the Turkana University College would be granted a charter by the year 2024 to be a fully fledged public university. As usual, where is the university charter for Turkana University for the last 3 years? Mr. Ruto, you lied that FGM would be dealt with accordingly and perpetrators be held accountable. Today, the prevalence of FGM in Marsabit County is at 83%, ranking Marsabit County as the third highest country in Kenya in FGM prevalence. I hope you understand what this means to women and girls of Marsabit as they look forward to exploiting their full potential. Why lie to women and girls, Mr. President? Between 4th and 7th February 2025, William Ruto toured Mandera, Wajir, Isiolo, Marsabit, and Garissa counties, and as usual made a cocktail of promises, deceit, and open lies, as he'll be doing in the next 3 days as he heads to the north. On 4th February 2025, in Mandera town, he promised to end marginalization and inclusive development. A year later, Mandera County has no roads, no sewage system, the drought is killing camels, the children of Mandera study at the trees. He keeps on as allies, leaders of the Mandera who steal what is meant for the people. The people who have impoverished Mandera are his buddies and political allies. He further promised to put Mandera on the national grid through Ethiopia. To date, Mandera gets electricity on ration basis once in every 24 hours. The president promised to put 1.2 million acres of land in Mandera Triangle along River Daua under irrigation. To date, no progress has been reported. On the same date, at Mandera Teachers Training College, he promised to support improvements in educational infrastructure and increase teacher recruitment in Mandera and Northeastern region, which single school has been built since then. On security and counter-terrorism commitment, William Ruto promised to protect residents and combat insecurity. He promised to ensure security and fight terrorism in Mandera after high-profile abduction incident involving 5 chiefs before his visit. Interestingly, 5 months ago, Jubaland forces occupied almost half of Mandera town, and Ruto has never commented on this matter. On regional connectivity and infrastructure, William Ruto promised to expand Mandera's road and energy connectivity. He said that the government will build and expand key infrastructure linking Mandera to the rest of the country, including roads and electricity through Ethiopia. It remains a lie. On the same date, William Ruto promised to speed up Mandera water supply and sanitation project at a cost of 3.1 billion to benefit households with improved clean water and sewage systems. Again, this is a white elephant. On February 5, 2025, in Wajir town, at Orahek grounds, he promised that his government would connect 20,000 households in Wajir to electricity and expand rural electrification, including schools and mosques, at a cost of 3.6 billion Kenya shilling. To date, not a single home of the 20,000 households has been connected. William Ruto, as you head to Wajir for more lives, you will have to tell the people of Wajir why you lied to them on this particular date. On ending marginalization with equal development, he promised to ensure equitable development for Wajir and the broader northeastern region, eliminating discriminatory policies and promoting economic growth. Unfortunately, he is working with unsanitizing leaders of the north who loot public resources for their benefit to build malls and flats in Nairobi, in Dubai, and in Cape Town. He further promised to launch and support local projects in Wajir, including sites like Tarbaj Teachers Training College, livestock vaccination drives, county assembly facilities, industrial parks, housing projects, hospital facilities, and more. Zero progress. On 31st of February 2024, William Ruto, while in Marsabit County, launched the following projects: periodic maintenance of Marsabit A2, Orange House, Kiwanja Dege Primary School, and A2 to Mata Arba A2 Road, which is 5 kilometers. Today, there is no progress. He launched again another project of 42 million Kenya shilling for periodic maintenance of Marsabit Bypass Road to be completed within 9 months. Again, it's now 2 years. William Ruto launched the periodic maintenance of Saku Modern Market to Shauri Yako Marsabit Road at a cost of 17 million. This was to be done within 9 months. 3 years later, there's no progress. In Isiolo County, on 11th April 2023, while breaking the fast with the Islamic community, he lied that Isiolo, Kulamawe, Modogasha Road will be upgraded to bitumen standards. Again, it remains a lie. Again, under his leadership, the 9.4 billion Isiolo Garissa Road, unassociated to all-weather roads, remain stalled. Further, the Isiolo town water and sewage infrastructure at a cost of 7.5 billion remains a white elephant. The construction of new Tana River Bridge along A3 Road and approach roads at a cost of 2.9 billion shillings again remains a white elephant. In Wajir town, the town with no power supply, 63 years after independence, William Ruto has made the following promises, which remains delusional. Water plants at Ajawa, Abdiwako, Kwara, Badibidan, Alanas, Asewaji, Bojigaras, Lehele, Sheba, Abakwifin, Abakwida, Dagale, and Sharifa. Water projects in Habasweni, Buna, Wajia Ball, water piping and supply, Elnuna, Tulatula, rehabilitation of Banish water projects, Tabaj water supply, Kulsini water supply, Dentelai water project, Elders and Nole water supply. These remain lies to the people of Wajir. In terms of irrigation projects, he has promised Wajir South Cluster, Mansa, among others. Note that the above water projects are worth billions of shillings, and Mr. Ruto, get these projects moving. As you go to Wajir, tell the people of Wajir why you lied to them and why you have come back when you have not implemented what you promised them. As we speak today, Wajir Level 5 Hospital and Griffithville Level 4 hospitals have no sterilization and surgical sets, leave alone having reliable power supply. William Ruto, with the governor of Wajir, you may need to explain this to the people of Wajir. The construction and upgrading of bitumen standards of the following roads in Wajir County remain a campaign lie and tool for William Ruto. Habaswen Township, Elders Township roads, Butte Town roads, construction of Wajir Bypass, drift on Lokole Elders Road, and the Habasweni Mosque Water Point Road. Your poetic road of Ramu, Gari, Elwak, Kobo, Kotulo, Tarbaj, Wajir, Samatar, Modogashe, Isiolo, tell us why majority of the sections are stored for the last 3 months and workers have never been paid their money to be able to continue with the construction. Tell the people of Mandera why power is being supplied once in every 24 hours. You must say what is happening at the Mandera Kenya Power Station. Finally, William Ruto, on 4th November 2023, in Lamu County, Kizingitini, Pate Island, you lied that Kenya shilling 700 million was available for construction of Mutagawada Sea Road. People are still waiting. Where is the 1 billion shillings for the development and equipping of 9 fishing lad sites for Mukowe in Lamu, a lie you told on 27th August 2023? Good people, that's where we are. We wanted to tell William Ruto as he goes to the north. The problem of northern Kenya is a problem of accountability. Theft of public resources by leaders that he wines and dines with. He is going to be with those leaders in military choppers, blowing dust and wind to hungry population with no water and food. I would like to ask him to carry food and water for the people of northern Kenya. All the maize and all the beans and rice, blankets, food and non-food items being used in central Kenya, in Nyandarua, in Kiambu, in Murang'a, Kirinyaga, Nyeri, to campaign. He should take those foods and non-food items. I found yesterday in Nyandarua, trucks of blankets, trucks of rice and beans being taken to people who have food, who have potatoes, who have carrots. This food is required in northern Kenya. So that is why I called this press conference to ask President William Ruto before he goes to the north to prepare these answers for the people of northern Kenya, because it is immoral to cheat populations. These people are dying, they are hungry, they have no water, they have no food, they have no medicine, their animals are dying. And then you go to dance with them and lie to them more. Asanteni sana. Any question? Yes, citizen.
Okay, just a few questions. Number one, the region has always complained that they've been left behind due to historical issues. What do you say about that? Because they have been marginalized according to them. Number two, this is the first time that you're having a presser after the changes at IBC. Are you okay with the person who is acting now, Sukuli? And lastly, there have been some concerns from Senate that there's some corruption. Governors yesterday said that the senators, some of the committee members, CPAC, are extorting them. Would you like to comment about that as well?
Thank you. What was the first question?
The first question is about the historical.
Yes. It is true that Northern Kenya suffered marginalization historically, but lucky for them, the 2010 Constitution was very kind to the people of Northern Kenya. The 2010 Constitution ushered in devaluation. It brought the equalization fund. And since then, the people of Northern Kenya have received billions of Kenya shillings from 2013. Again, the CDF has been a very fair program for the people of Northern Kenya. Unfortunately, the marginalization that has been perpetuated by the leaders from the region. I have put them to task to explain to the people of Northern Kenya where is 1 trillion shillings that has come to Northern Kenya from shareable revenue through devolution, money for CDF, money for the equalization fund. When you go to Wajir, to Mandera, to Garissa, to Isiolo, to Marsabit, there's nothing on the ground. If you come here to the mountain region, you will see money meant for CDF. There are all manner of schools. All schools have tiles. Schools have cabro. They have modern buildings. If you go here to Kajiado North, the money for CDF is visible in the rest of the country. But there is nothing in Northern Kenya. Zero. All these leaders are just here in Nairobi. But there is no accountability because they don't even allow audit to take place. They feign insecurity so that audit has to go into Northern Kenya. If you look at the money that has been given to the governor since 2013, there are no hospitals, there are no dispensaries, there are no health centers, there are no ECDs, there are no roads, there is no water, there is nothing. Northern Kenya requires a special audit of all the funds that have been disbursed to those areas since that time. Number two, you have asked about IBC. We went to IBC and raised various issues. Of course, we did demand the removal of the CEO, and we are grateful that he has been removed. We call for a transparent and open recruitment of a CEO with no interference from the state. Further, we call upon the IBC to terminate the contracts for the mathematics system of conducting elections, the Venezuelan technology that was illegally extended by the outgoing CEO, Juan Marjan. He did it when there was no commission. It's an illegality, and that contract is illegal. And that contract should be terminated, and IBC should advertise and acquire modern and credible system for conducting our elections. Thank you. On? Yes. Most of these governors cannot complain of extortion. Why they are being is extorted, especially the ones from Northern Kenya. They have stolen all the money meant for the people. So I gather the senators are reasoning that since they have stolen from the people, they need to steal from them. Of course, two wrongs don't make a right. Of course, the Senate and the National Assembly has been a theater of corruption. When I was being hounded out of office, the senators who hounded me out of office were given 10 million shillings each, and others 20 million. It's a den of corruption. and so is the National Assembly, and by extension, all public institutions. So this is something that we intend to correct when we form government. The United Opposition intends to deal with corruption head-on because it's the greatest challenge that we have as a country. We have a very, very serious challenge where we even have budgeted corruption and where corruption has been institutionalized and people don't find it anything wrong. Again, William Ruto has really encouraged people to practice corruption. He is bribing people in the loans of State House openly when everybody can see. He calls people and gives them bribes. So once the president has shown that bribery is a way of life, the senators have learned from him because he also started by bribing them. So when he is not available to bribe them, they have to be bribed by somebody else. And so bribery has become a normal way of life in this country, and it has been perfected by William Ruto. He is shamelessly, with his deputy, going around in the country with sacks of money stolen from institutions like Kenyatta National Hospital to bribe people for election. And therefore the senators, the MPs, the police, the administrators, everybody is learning from the best. William Ruto is the one who has perfected bribery as a way of life. And therefore everybody has learned from him. And that is the country now that we have. And that is why we are preparing for the next election to correct this situation by removing from office and bringing a government that is transparent and accountable. Yes?
Yes, there's Apollo TV 57. There's a petition in court to stop political meetings in State House. What's your reaction to that? Number two, how far have you gone with plans in search of the United Opposition from Beara, and are there any planned meetings coming up? Number three, you promised to name the Witima Church attack suspects. How soon are you going to name them? And number four is...
Too many questions. Those are enough. One, we agree with that petition. State House has become a scene of crime. Instead of being a coveted institution where good policies are conceived and pronounced, it has become the center of corruption and bribery. It has also is no longer a national institution that looks after the people of Kenya. It is now the headquarters for UDA party and the election of William Ruto. William Ruto has abandoned government. He's not running the government anymore. He's just thinking about the election. So State House is a campaign scene, and again a scene of corruption and bribery. We are committed to have one single presidential candidate to face William Ruto. We want to ask patience from the people of Kenya. Coalition building is a delicate affair, but the people of Kenya have been very clear to us that they want one candidate to face William Ruto, and we want to give them that commitment. On my part, I want to give that commitment. And when I listen to my sister Mada Karua and my other brothers in the alternative government, they are all committed that we shall have one single presidential candidate to face William Ruto. What I want to ask is patience, and there is no hurry. Mwai Kibaki, the third president of the Republic of Kenya, was named as the opposition flag bearer on the 14th of October 2022, when the election was on 27th December the same year. 2 months, 13 days apart. There's no hurry. We can take our sweet time. If you ask me, we should not be in a hurry. Anything from March, April next year is good enough. We told IG Kaja that we shall go back on the 16th for a report. We want to hear from him. I have information William Ruto has said those people should not be taken to court because he will be indicted. And he will be shooting himself in the foot because they are actually policemen and politicians very close to him. The investigations have actually unearthed all the police officers who were on the scene and the politicians who hosted them and who planned the attack, but there will be a very serious cover-up. I have information that William Ruto has said that he would not allow the prosecution of those politicians and those policemen, because his government will be right in the center of it. But let's cross the bridge when we get there. We'll go to see the IG on the 16th. He promised us that he'll give us progress report, and we told him we want arrest and prosecution by then. But let's cross the bridge when we get there. Last one. Yes. My friend, I'm here today talking about northern Kenya. I'm a Kenyan leader. William Ruto has unsuccessfully tried to say I'm tribal because I come from the mountain and I spend a lot of time there because it's home. Even you people, when you go to work, in the evening you go back home because that's home. I'm a Kenyan leader and I'll be talking about Kenya. I'm today talking about northern Kenya. Later tonight I have radio stations from the Ma community discussing issues in Narok, in Kajiado, and in Samburu. I want to say the 2020 Constitution dealt in a very big way with the issue of marginalization. My administration will work on accountability to make sure that funds, public funds, appropriated by the National Assembly and given to the counties and given to the MPs through the Constituency Development Fund, those funds are spent prudently for the purposes for which they were appropriated. I don't think we have really a big problem about lack of funds. It's the issue of accountability, and more so the North. The people of northern Kenya have borne the brunt of lack of accountability. And they have been taken for granted for too long. And that's why they're happy with me. And I can tell you, President William Ruto has the MPs and the governors in northern Kenya and the senators. I have the people. The people are with me because I'm talking their language. And I've become a very serious defender of the people of northern Kenya. And I want to give them a solemn promise and undertaking that in the next 1.5 years, I'll be their spokesman. I'll bring out all the issues that bedevil their region. I'll call out their leaders until they get justice. And after I'm elected president, I'll sort them out. I'll carry out a special audit on funds allocated to those regions from 2013 to date. And those who have misappropriated those funds will be held accountable. And they must pay the price for stealing public funds. Yes.
What do you have to say about the health situation in the Mount Kenya region now that you are against the food supply system being
The drought situation in Mount Kenya region is very minimal. There are very few areas that receive relief food in the Central Kenya region, where I worked for many years as a district officer. I know the Mount Kenya region like the back of my hand. We have some little challenge in Tharaka, some little challenge in Bere, some little challenge in Katwanyaga, in Thika, some little challenge in Kakuzi, in Maragua, some little challenge in Karai, in Kikuyu, some little challenge in Deya, in Rimuru, some little challenge in Keni, in Nyeri. That's it. And a little challenge in some parts of Ndaragwa, in Nyandarua. We have no business sending food to Kinangop. It's the basket of this country to give food to the people of Kenya. You have no business sending food to Kirinyaga. You have no business sending food to Madera. You have no business sending food to Tigoni. You have no business sending food to Gatundu. Those are people who have food. That food should be taken to Wajir, to Garissa, to Marsabit, to Turukana. That is where the food is needed. And if it was to be taken to the people of Mount Kenya region, it should be taken to those who are starving, not as bribes for votes. That is where we have a problem. And probably now that you have talked about that, let me also say, I have seen leaders from Western Kenya, the governor, the deputy governor, I've seen Aden Duale and others. They have been sent by William Ruto to abuse President Uhuru Kenyatta and trying to intimidate him and trying to sell him fear that he should not have a political mind, he should not interact with other leaders in Kenya, and he shouldn't have a political choice. And if he does so, they will take away his retirement benefits and his allowances. Let me tell those leaders sent by William Ruto. One, they have no moral authority to address President Uhuru Kenyatta. President Uhuru Kenyatta is a retired president of the Republic of Kenya, a statesman, a very serious nationalist, a Kenya who served this country with dedication and who deserves respect. Number two, I don't think President Uhuru Kenyatta can give up his constitutional obligations because of allowances. President Uhuru Kenyatta is not a poor man. He's a Kenyan who has worked hard. He's a Kenyan who has money and resources. And I don't think the President Uhuru Kenyatta can be told to shut up so that he gets allowances or he doesn't get. In any case, even if they carry out the threat and hold his allowances, there's no problem. Once we take over office, we shall give President Kenyatta